Welcome, everyone. If you're watching us live on Twitch, welcome to the unedited live stream. And if you're watching us on YouTube, hello from the past. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all future uploads of Fancie's Fables. And we appreciate your support and love seeing your comments and everything you have to share, so thank you from all of us. Now, the question of the episode. What event, began your character's adventuring that brought you to Waterdeep? What was the direct causation?
This is easy for me if you want me to start.
Yeah, go ahead, Kane.
So Kane is actually from Waterdeep, so he lives here. And but his motive is, this is gonna sound so stupid, and for Kane of all people, but he's in love, so that's Kane's thing.
What a big softie. Bitches and money. That's Kane's life.
I'll leave it for you guys to figure it out.
Pimp Daddy Kane here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's from here and he's traveling around because he is someone else's go-getter. He's basically doing someone else's bidding.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna go in reverse order. Phoebe.
Cool. So, by direct, do you mean the immediate location before how she got to Waterdeep, or what?
No, what started you on your journey that brought you to Waterdeep?
Cool. So, Phoebe being completely content and loving the cruise control button on life was super happy in her little woodland village. But then her mom just up and vanished, and that's her best friend, and she loves her mom, and she's like, you know what? I'm not going to stay in my village. I'm going to go find out what happened to my mom. So she left her village in her little store. And she's just constantly searching for more powerful, spellcasters and mages in hopes that they know her mom and where she's at. And that's why she's in Waterdeep.
Awesome. Timon?
Timon, from, I believe, the Eastwind Battalion, was a warforged that was created to fight alongside soldiers on the front lines in some kind of religious war. Being the paladin that he is, this is what he believed his fate was, and he would fight alongside his commander, who he held in high regard, until the point of them coming to a village that they were ordered to overtake so that their allies could continue to fight. They discovered that they were going to take over a village of innocent people and slaughter them all as part of their mission. But the commander decided that this was wrong once they found out that the god they were worshipping was evil. So he ordered all his men to stand down and pretty much ordered Timon to pretty much step away from all this and live his own life and find his own way. Obviously, after that, his commander was marked for treason and publicly executed, and that kind of caused Timon to break his oath to his god and go on his own path in order to find what his commander meant by the meaning of life and how to live now that he is a free warforged. And that's how he ended up traveling and meeting Phoebe.
Mm-hmm. Now you're both here. Ko.
So, Ko isn't from Toro. He's from Eberron. And in Eberron, at the time, Ko was part of a commune of Kalistar that were kind of in hiding. They were hiding from the Inspired, which are their almost direct counterparts. The Kori spirits that are bonded to them have either one or two paths, and Kalistar or Inspired are the options rather. And Ko was of a mindset, among a few others, that instead of being in hiding and learning all these ways to mask one's presence and take on different roles in order to survive, he was of the mindset of, hey, maybe we should just get stronger and eradicate the enemy so that we can live freely. And his peers, some of his peers, had equal mindsets, so they were out researching and stuff, trying to figure out what sort of ways they could kind of enhance their capabilities in regards to their like conflict with the inspired. And during one of these like expeditions to find out more information and stuff, they were attacked by like a full-on like platoon of inspired, and the leader of that kind of like squad banished Ko like with a spell, literally banished him from Eberron. A whole group of us, yes. He banished that group from Eberron and scattered them. And as far as Ko knows, he's the only one who ended up in Waterdeep at the very least. And upon his arrival, he quickly became friends with Cain, and that's pretty much his point right now. Figuring out ways to get back to his home so that he could continue his crusade to freeing his people and whatnot.
A noble quest.
Nice.
Well, very detailed. Great bit of insight into the story of our characters. But of course, a story that the other characters will have to learn in time. So, who wants to do the recap?
Dante, are you laughing because I jumped right over the question and did it last week?
Yes, and because I partially don't remember it too much, or at least I don't think I do. But
I can take it over.
we'll try.
I haven't done it in a while.
Okay. I mean, yeah, if the DM wants to do it, the DM is gonna do it. You know, who am I to stand in the way of the DM?
But I set the
Mine would just
floor
be
because
generalized.
the DM is default. You know, default DM. That's what they call, right?
From what I can recall,
I will help you.
Oh, thank you, Tenman. Tenman's a real
Tag
boy.
team.
He really rides out. So we
rolled up in the grove like we own the
did roll up in
goddamn
the
place.
grove. There were some twig lights. We fought them. They perished.
Set fire to all them bitches. Then we rolled up on Zin.
That is true.
Or rolled up on Bellic.
We rolled up on Bellic, who was like doing some stuff in front of the tree, and he had his little like zombified like people that were taken over by the tree, his blight homies. and
the frog.
And then his giant frog came down from above. So we were immediately kind of like engaged, or not immediately. There was a little bit of a back and forth dialogue where Ko and Cain were kind of like, yeah, let's fight him. But wait a second.
What can you offer us?
Yeah, and
We got this man over here offering us gold to take this tree from you. But what can you do for us?
Yes. There was a
Ask
little
not
bit
what
of,
the quest giver can do for you, but what the villain can do for you.
can do for you.
I think that's
exactly. Exactly. So then, there was a little bit of a small moment where Zin could have ended up being killed if he did not answer correctly. But we ended up, doing what Zin had hired us to do. We fought Bellic and his minions. The frog got dispatched. The knight got dispatched. Like, both of those two were.
But
taken
did you
out
learn
pretty easy.
anything? Did
Wait,
Bellic
wait.
say anything?
I'm not finished yet. I'm not finished yet.
I mean, it sounds like Bellic's dead, so I don't...
No. I didn't get. I said the knight and the frog died. Okay. I didn't get to Bellic's demise
Oh,
yet.
okay, all right. Okay,
He's
keep
about to do
going.
the monologue.
Keep going.
Yeah. So the frog ended up dead. The knight ended up dead. Then the other lackey, the cleric girl, Cain actually kind of just like subjugated her and had her like tied up in this contraption thingy.
He
It was
uses
really
bondage
BDSM
ball.
like.
Very technical.
Yeah. It was getting there. And then for Bellic, even though he did die, before he died,
Oh.
we learned from him that the tree was some weird combination of vampiric like qualities or whatever. It gained a lot of its properties because of a vampire's demise in the vicinity of it, if I remember correctly. And so its regenerative and healing properties are attributed to the vampire's existence. And it's such a rare phenomenon that like even Zin was like, we gotta keep this tree. Even after we defeated Bellic, Zin was like, oh my god, this tree, the fruit. And it was in those final moments after Bellic's demise that we learned of Zin's betrayal. In Ko's eyes is betrayal because he wasted his fucking time. But he did pay us. But we learned that he was not a devotee of sorts for what's this lady's name? Tamara. He was in fact a descendant of the original citizens of Ashardalon and the Citadel.
Just a follower of Ashardalon.
Yes, a follower. There we go. Sorry, a follower of Ashardalon. So he felt like he had claim to this ruined city or citadel, and that his friends, his allies that were like days behind, he was using them as a way to kind of threaten us to not go ahead and burn the tree and or kill him. We left him alive, kind of. We
But
left
without
him down.
means of escape.
Yeah, we left him down there with a burning tree. So, whatever happened to him. But at the end of the day, he lied to us, kind of. And we took the money that we were owed, and we burned the tree, took one fruit from the tree, and kept it pushing. And we returned back to the top. We spoke to Greno, who kind of said that, if I remember correctly, the what is this race called? The Kobolds. Yes, the Kobolds, they didn't fully uphold, the peace.
Yeah.
So, that dispute between them continued, and the Kobolds actually did go back to where they were originally held at in the Citadel, and we warned the goblins that Zin's allies were going to come in a matter of days, and it is very likely that they would be coming with similar hostility and prejudice that Zin possessed, yet Zin didn't have the capabilities to actually fully act upon them himself because he's a weakling. But his allies, however, are not, or so he says. So we warned them. The goblins kind of understood, that it was time for them to exit and leave the Citadel. Then we started talking to the kobolds, and Meepo had leveled up and became Warrior Meepo.
Yep.
Thanks to Temin giving him a broken spear.
Meepo.
I don't remember if we really spoke to the queen. I don't think we got a chance to see her because it was really crowded and shit. But we pretty much left the kobolds. We warned Meepo that these guys were coming and that they should probably defend themselves. Meepo saw that as a means to hey, let's set up some traps and kill some bitches.
He was very excited.
He's Warrior Meepo now, so he doesn't give a shit.
It's that class change, bro.
Yeah, that class change.
He switched
really
weapons and changed classes.
Easy. So we left with the goblins leaving and the kobolds kind of doubling down on this is their territory and they're gonna defend it. We ended back up in Oakhurst, and from there, the party kind of split into little groups. Kane and Co ended up in a bar, where they got to go through what is becoming a recurring conversation where opportunities or potential opportunities fail to pan out for Ko. And Kane is kind of just like, on the bright side, you still get to hang out with me.
Yep.
And I actually don't remember what Phoebe and Temin did at the end of last session.
Phoebe straight up was like, I am mad dog tired and am totally going to bed.
She checked out.
Checked out, but that wasn't until we all caught up with the mayor in the bar or wherever we saw the mayor, and he was like, yo, what happened? Are the ruins real? Like, what's going on? We're like, yeah, no, there's no ruins. Nothing happened. It was like totally a myth. And
What about Sin? What about Sin?
By the way, no one is coming in 5 days, so you can just keep living your little life, and we're gonna peace out, homie.
Yeah.
And then Phoebe went to bed. And then Temin did his cool little thing.
Carved up a little mural of the goblin, the kobold in our little group on the tree.
Yep. Yeah. So, you all finish your 6-day trip back from Oakhurst to Waterdeep. And when you return back to the town, or the city, rather, you split up into your two groups. Kane and Ko head off back towards the Yawning Portal. And Temin and Phoebe head out to find lodging of their own, returning to the place they had rested before, the Inn of the Dripping Dagger, within the Trades Ward. That night, within the Yawning Portal, Ko and Kane are sitting at the bar. Durnan, serving drinks as usual. There isn't a large raft of patrons, because when they had arrived, there was a missive nailed onto the door. It has since been torn down by Durnan, but beforehand, it had posted on it, "By decree of the Lord's Alliance, none shall delve into the Undermountain." And for any of you with the know-how and long history within Toril know of the Lord's Alliance. Phoebe, maybe in passing, Temin and Kane, most definitely. They are a collective of merchants, adventurers, aristocrats, and governing powers all across Faerun. And they seem to have extended their power here. But what they do is their own problem. For now, two of our companions sit and drink. And Kane flips through the book that he had snatched from Temin. A book regarding the growing of life, the passing of seasons. But there is a pretty hefty section, rather incomplete, though long yet still incomplete, detailing the Gulthius tree and its fruits. The suspected healing capabilities of the fruit, the experiments that he had taken upon them in order to determine its efficacy, as well as its life-taking properties when the fruit is born in the winter. Fortunately for all of you, however, Kane, when you had taken the fruit, it was right before summer solstice, and it was nice, ripe, and red. For we are currently at the beginning of Kythorn, the time of flowers, and all is abloom across Faerun. The passage continues, and mentions Bellic's quest for immortality, or at the very least, an extended life, one brought on by the fruits from this vampire-born tree. But Even after a dozen years, his research never found a solid answer. Now, while the night wanes on, and your 6 days of travel behind you, do you take rest, or is there any conversation you two would like to have before that?
So, I know this is too common for us at this point, or for me at the very least. You seem to always enjoy my misery. I think I'm going to hit up some of the shops again, see what I can exchange for information. And I was wondering if you might have any inkling as to which ones I should probably pursue.
Absolutely, I do.
Well, go on. Do tell. Don't keep it to yourself, Kane.
Well, if I tell you right now, you're just going to run straight there, and then you're going to run away from me. So, I mean, you can go follow the other leads that you've been hearing about, but, you know, I know how to keep you coming back for more, Co.
You have got to be quite the sadistic person to withhold such information from somebody you would call friend.
Listen, I'm not withholding. I'm just choosing to share it at a different time. I'm more than willing to bring you with me, but I also need to go there. So if I just have to hold it hostage for a little longer so I go with you, I would enjoy the company.
So what you're saying is you want me to follow you?
I'm saying when I ruffle people's feathers, I look better with an ally next to me. So I never know what's going to happen to me. And if I find my way over to a place with all the information you might be looking for, of course I'd want you with me. Co, I have some dealings to do. I'm going to put my drink down. I have some dealings to do with tomorrow. My day's booked out. I'm sorry, but maybe meet me back here at the end of tomorrow. No, the next morning. And then we'll go on our own way together.
You know, sometimes I really, really regret you being my only friend in this place.
Look at it this way. I'm not Zin. At least you know that I have there's weight to my words, and I know exactly what you're looking for, and I know that there might be some information there. At least I'm not leading you on. Maybe a little.
I'm just gonna like drink, just kind of like give him a nod, just yeah.
You have a day to yourself, do what you need to do, and then you'll come crawling back to me like always. And I'm gonna wave my hand as I'm walking away.
All right. Over in the Dripping Dagger, anything Phoebe and Temud would like to resolve before they rest for the night?
Phoebe's just gonna kind of sit on the floor, and she's gonna take out the different jars of fungus that they found, and she's gonna kind of examine them and open them and kind of look around and take some notes in her journal.
Mm-hmm. So as you are shuffling through your collections from beneath the Sunless Citadel and Bellick's research, you note that in one of these sealed jars that you had put a different type of fungus, I believe it was a orangish hue, stood apart from the rest. It has deteriorated within the sealed jar and over the course of your travel here. As you open it and air, this new air, comes into the jar, it in fact crumbles most of the orange fungus and turns it into dust. That dust then picks up and it starts to really, really irritate your nose and eyes. And you quickly seal the jar back up.
Phoebe.
Well, that's disappointing. She's gonna, put it back in her bag. Ugh. That's all I have for the evening before I go to bed.
Just a little bit of light poisoning before bedtime.
A little light poisoning.
Are you sure you don't need anything, Phoebe? That doesn't look like you ingested something.
We're having trouble hearing you.
Are you alright over there, Phoebe?
Yeah, I just got a little sniffly after the fungus kind of reacted to the air, and now I got a little bit of a nose problem, but it should clear up by morning. This isn't my first time with plants.
Oh, alright then. As long as you are alright.
I'm okay, don't worry.
Very well then.
All right. And the next morning, Phoebe wakes up dead. I told you I'd kill you. I told you.
My own hands. No
more conflict.
But in all seriousness, the next morning comes, and we will switch back over to Kane and Co. on the streets of Waterdeep. Now, I believe, Kane, you had a location that you were headed towards. And
Absolutely, I do.
Co, you were going to meander about, then meet back with Kane this evening at the Yawning Portal.
Nope. Next morning.
Next morning.
Next
Kane's
morning.
evening is booked as well.
Ooh. I wonder where he's going. So, we'll start with Kane. You make your way down the familiar streets from the Yawning Portal up to the north end of the Trades Ward, just right on the border from where this mercantile district and working class zone of Waterdeep turns into the North Ward, the area of wealth. The building there that you arrive at, you know very well.
Mm-hmm.
The Gilded Nymph. The best brothel in all of Waterdeep. Standing outside is a familiar face, Sarah. She's been there for a few years, rescued from a tough spot down south, and has been living the best life she can here.
I'm gonna nod my head. I'm hard to miss, so I know as I approach.
Yeah. Kane, so nice to have you back here.
Well, you know that I'm not far.
Oh, never far from the mistress.
Speaking of the mistress, how has everything been afloat around here? It's been a little while.
Oh, things have been all quiet here. You know, same familiar faces, only a few new ones. Can't complain.
Good. I know everybody's safe and happy here, and that's what matters. But hopefully, the news I bring to the mistress will make her happy and keep her in high spirits. That's always beneficial to everyone.
Oh, yes. Yes. She does have quite the temper sometimes.
Hopefully she can pencil me in, and I'm just gonna kind of start heading to go inside.
Okay. You slip by Sarah and enter into the Gilded Nymph. Within, there is a dim lighting, no matter the time of day. Heavy satin curtains hang over all the windows, and a thin layer of smoke hangs in the air from both incense and pipes alike. Lounge areas filled with cushions, and many a beautiful young lady of all forms of races walking around, tending to the visitors. At this point in time, most would be eating their breakfast before heading out. There aren't many that spend their entire day here, but there are a few. You slip on through, almost unnoticed. A little hard for Kane to be completely unnoticed. And head to the back room, where a familiar, large, heavy wooden door carved ornately with two wood nymphs exiting trees on either side, holding a bushel of plants and fruits in their hands over their shoulders, inlaid with gold.
All right, I'll go in.
All right. You enter in, and within the office room, you recognize hard work when you see it. Many books and papers lay about, covering the desks, even the lounge chairs. Many of the candles have since burned low, their wax dripping heavy from the sconces and candelabras about the room. A heavier than usual smoke hangs in the air. And standing, staring out the large bay window in the back of the room, is Gilandra, the proprietress of the Gilded Nymph. Her long gown covering most of her body, those shoulders exposed. She doesn't even turn to regard you. Ah. Kane, I trust you are back.
Mistress, I'm always reporting for duty in a timely as I can manner, and I'm going to just kind of clumsily, but like as stoic as I can, walk in the room.
Take a seat, please. She gestures over to one of the love seats covered in papers.
I'm going to clear my throat and just not take a seat and look around instead and note the candles. Another all-nighter?
2 or 3.
Well, that's no good. I'm going to move toward her.
Yes. She turns, now to fully regard you. Her silvered mask covering half of her face, her long auburn hair gracefully billowing over her shoulders. Her eyes have the strain of unrest to them, but you see them light up slightly when she gazes upon you. Ah, all in one piece. Always good to have something where it belongs.
I'm just gonna cross my arms and smile at her. I'm glad to see that you're still in one piece as well. Well, your dealings get a little out of control. I don't know how you manage it.
This city hasn't buried me yet, she says, flicking a cigarette into, or a hand-rolled cigarette into an ashtray. These fools think that they can do business behind my back and me not find out. Well, fine. We'll see if they like being cut out of the next deal themselves.
It's not anyone you want me to visit, is it? Because you know I have no problem doing that.
Oh, I know, dear. She caresses the side of your face, but briefly. But no, it's fine. They will find my scorn arriving on their doorstep before they can even manage. Surely you have some news for me. Come, distract me. She walks over to the love seat, regarding the clutter, and with a magic word, the papers pick up and stack on the desk. She then sits down, lounging on the seat.
Well, you see, actually, I do have some news. I was hanging out in the tavern and keeping an ear out for all the nonsense that everyone speaks about. But there's a man in there, a crazy man, of course. They always go there. Anyways, the tales of for the youth and the fruit and this everlasting life. I'm gonna take a seat on the desk and like just kind of be reminiscing rather than like invading her space or anything. And yeah, he wanted to hire some young kid that's running around town with a warforge, and because he wanted peace and stuff and this stuff, and I'm gonna get involved. So I got involved, and turns out up north there was like these ruins and bullshit tree and life. I checked it out. It's bullshit. The tree's gone. But before you get too upset, I think there might have been something. Now, don't get excited. It's not everlasting life. It's no fountain of youth, but it might be something you're interested in.
So, crazy man, adventure tree. What have you brought back for me, Kate?
All right. I'm gonna reach in the satchel and pull out an apple. Now,
a fruit.
This is yes, fruit. It's probably just an apple. Let's both face facts here. This is an apple. However, I'm gonna kind of like toss it her way. There's a man in Oakland, north of here, that claims that he was sick and dying, and suddenly he started eating this fruit and he got better. No idea what happened long term. These goblins were peddling him around the town. This tree, apparently some vampire death and blood and youth. It's not going to make anyone live forever, but definitely something that I thought maybe you'd be interested in at least getting your hands on. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to stand up and kind of like walk away. It's only good for a couple days, so if you're going to risk it, which the guy looked fine. I mean, didn't look like he was dying of anything. If anything, it's the normal apple. If not, maybe it's a little something more.
Well, Kane, there's always some truth in old legends and whispers. But thank you. I will look into this as soon as I have a moment.
As far as I know, they go bad quick, so look into it fast.
Of course. She kind of boredly puts the table, or the apple down on the table, and leans back again. Oh. It gets so hot this time of year, Kane. She pulls at her dress.
Well, I'm gonna just stand up and be like, I'm a little cold-blooded if you ever need something to lean on.
Oh, Kane. She stands up. You see a half smile as she crosses the room over to her desk. I have much too much work to attend to. I appreciate you coming by and giving me this information. She pushes some papers about. If there's anything else you find, don't be a stranger.
No, but I just thought maybe we could have dinner or something tonight.
She stops and looks at you. She stares you in the eyes. Kane, you know we can't do that.
We don't have to go anywhere. You know that I'm more than fine with being in here, and your guards aren't going to say anything, and the girls are fine. They're all fine. If anything, I just look at another bodyguard here, right?
I appreciate the offer. I just have too much to go through right now. I'm sorry, dear.
Oh, well, I know a hard-working lady when I see one, and this place doesn't run perfectly because you take breaks, so I understand.
Exactly. She lights up another cigarette and places it in her lips.
I'm gonna kind of like go to walk away, but then turn around and just be like, well, if you want, I can just stay here for the night, just in case you maybe find some free time, and then I can, we can talk a little more.
maybe. I do have a client a little later, but you always have your room here, Kay.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine with me. I'll probably just end up staying there, so I'll be available if you need anything. And, I'm sorry the fruit thing wasn't so interesting, and, like I said, if you want me to go rough up those guys that have been giving you a hard time, I can also go do that.
No, not necessary. Yes, thank you for the fruit. She, picks it up magically and brings it over to the desk with her. Clearly now lost in her papers.
Wait, there's one more thing. While you're doing paperwork, of course, this is going to help. And I'm going to take out a ton of the gold that I have on me. Like, as much as I just have a little bit left, but I'm going to give her all the gold.
Well, you got to quantify it for me. You you were given 20 platinum pieces as payment.
Yes.
And you had the...
I put them in my inventory, so I have it logged.
Okay.
My D&D character sheet.
You might need that.
Oh, I had it. Hold on. Everybody, just hold on. Oh, there it is. All right. So the gold that I have on me, money. So I have 20 platinum, 10 SP. Wait, is that gold? No, 20
Silver
platinum.
pieces.
Yep, 10. No, 10 and copper's 40.
What are you keeping?
I'll just give her the 200 platinum. I mean, the 20 platinum.
20 platinum. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Kane. This is quite the payout. Suddenly her interest back on you. This is certainly going to help. Must have been quite some job to be as boring as you had recalled it.
Well, you know, I make the guy hold up to his promises. He told me I was going to get 200, and I made sure of it when I left.
Good boy. She fetches the platinum and takes it over to a large chest and places it within. Then over to a book, and you see her marking some numbers and grabbing an abacus.
As he's walking out, he's going to attempt one more time to try and just be like, so seriously, if you were needing a little extra for dinner or something, I think that could cover some of it, right? If you just...
She turns and smiles curtly. I think I might be able to make some time tonight, Kane. If you're in your room, I'll come find you. I'll send one of the girls.
Okay. All right. No, perfect. And just let me know if you need anything. I'll probably just run a patrol for you and then be in my room just in case your time frees up. And he's going to just kind of like leave it at that.
Of course. And as you are starting to close the door behind you, oh, and Kane, don't stir up too much trouble with the guards, please. I've been paying a lot of bribes lately, dear.
Sorry about that. I just think one of those guys had out for me. It didn't matter what I was going to be doing, so I made that bribe worth your while. Don't worry about that.
Yes. Well, I wish for none of them to be worth my while for a while.
Well, if the City Watch got better guards, I'd have better behavior.
I wish I had
maybe
control
you
over
can
that.
do something about that. Put a bug in someone's ear.
Perhaps if they ever make me a lord.
Yeah, you don't want to be a lord anyways.
You're right. My hands are full enough as it is. Be safe, dear. She then turns back to her work. All right. We're going to switch over now to Temin and Phoebe at the Dripping Dagger. Where am I? Phoebe, you wake up and you're still sniffling. Your eyes are still burning. And as miserable as you feel, there's some hope here. You recall a mixture that your mother had made for you when you were a youngling. And last time you had an experience like this to something in nature, she had whipped it together and had almost cured you. Unfortunately, you can't recall precisely what the remedy is.
So she's gonna wake up. Are Phoebe and Temin staying in the same room?
It's up to the two of you.
I feel like that's a hard yes.
I mean, Temin is literally just standing out by the window, just probably looking out, just in a sentry vest.
Just staring.
All right, so she's gonna sit up. She's Temin. It's not just a sniffle.
Oh no, Phoebe. You see Temin like rushing over to find like a bucket of water and grabbing a rag.
This isn't the first time nature has turned against me. And it won't be the last.
Then perhaps we should destroy nature. As he starts putting the rag in the bucket and then comes over and like starts smothering Phoebe in the face with all the snot. But like it's still a wet rag. He didn't like wring it out, so it's just like on your face and he's like
Oh, thank you. I think we'll be okay with and she's gonna reach her bag and pull out some rags and start tearing them a little bit. With this, I should be okay.
But your nose is all red.
Yeah, that's because my nose is a little ruddy and I'm saying I gotta, I can't have that, going all over Booker. I mean, worst comes to worst, he does wipe my nose, but not today. So I think I remember, this was a while ago, but when my mom and I would experiment with mushrooms and different plants and stuff like this, what happened, allergies, allergen, something.
What are allergens?
I think it's a negative reaction to certain components within plants. Maybe.
Are they poisonous?
I don't think so. I don't think I'm dying. I just don't think I feel well.
I'm gonna put my hand on like Phoebe's forehead and just use lay on hands for 5 points.
Okay.
Do you feel any better?
Your headache has passed, but the physical symptoms still remain.
That was a good. I feel a little bit better. My head feels better. It's less cloudy, but this is still a problem. We should. Do you know Waterdeep well, Tabitha, or are you just as new to it as I am?
I do not know, but perhaps we can ask around.
I think we should. I mean, either we go outside of Waterdeep or we see if there is some sort of shop that has a couple of plants, because I'm gonna try to fix this. Remind me to not open the other jar of fungus. I don't know if it'll have the same effect or if it was just the other one. I was a little sad that the orange fungus deteriorated, but now not so much.
Understood. No fungus.
No fungus. All right. So, are you ready to go?
Always ready.
All right, it'll just take me a second, but then we can head out. So she's gonna get ready. She's gonna like brush teeth. She's gonna run her hands through her hair. And she's gonna set her hat just right to make sure it's bent at the right angle. And she's gonna be ready to go.
Gotta be stylish.
While Tom is helping her out, he's gonna be like picking her up, holding her at the sink as she's like brushing her teeth.
Classic. All right. So you head out from the dripping dagger. Fortunately, it is within the trades ward. So if you were looking for any potion or maybe an herbalist shop, as you do have familiarity with that, it wouldn't be too hard to ask a few people and get some directions.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to be self-sufficient and independent on this journey. So she's gonna be looking for an herbalist shop.
Okay, all right.
Independence.
So you ask a few people, and some of them are like, an herbalist? Do I look like I need an herbalist? And then a few of them point you to a few different ones. Oh, a Northern Trades Ward. And then another person, you want to go to South Trades Ward. They've got the best there, blah, blah, blah. And then a very kind, homely-looking woman approaches you. Oh, child, don't listen to them. Go to Twig and Sprig, just down the road here on the left. Quaint shop, nicest owner you've ever met.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Sorry, I really appreciate it.
Yes,
she's
yes.
just gonna reach in her coin purse or whatever. She's just gonna give her a platinum.
Oh, no, dearie. I have no need for that. You are young. Keep it. Go have fun. Find a remedy for your allergies, dear.
Oh, well, only if you insist. Thank you so much.
We thank you for your directions.
She regards you, Timon. Yes, of course.
If you are in need of services of smashing things, I will gladly assist.
Well, my neighbor's dog has been quite wily as of late.
Then smash it, I will.
Night.
No, Tevin, we're not gonna be smashing the dog.
Merely a joke, dear. Just a joke.
What is a joke?
Yeah, we're working on it. Thank you. And I'm just gonna grab Tevin's hand and we're just gonna jog away.
She looks a little confused and waves goodbye, then shrugs it off and continues on whatever she was doing that day.
Goodbye, friendly lady who is disturbed by dog.
So you follow her vague directions, only really knowing down the road and to the left, to a place called Twig and Sprig. Give me a perception roll, both of you.
Do I have D&D Beyond open? I do. Good job.
That was a test, and you passed.
That's a 14.
Same's these.
You two are in sync. All right, now sing me a song.
Are we singing a song?
We got sniffles.
Because you're in sync. Whatever.
Talking about in sync.
So...
Bye.
I'm
Perfect.
short. I'm 3 foot something. Went right over.
You find the shop. It has a nice little sign hanging over the doorway. Twig and Sprig, with little artsy depictions of both items.
I'm sorry, Amanda's killing me. Cool. So we're gonna walk in.
Yes. You walk in, and your nose is clogged up, but you can still smell all of the fresh and dried herbs within. Plenty of things hanging from the ceiling, bushels, bunches, loose ingredients stacked up on like a leaning shelf, and they're all stacked up. This is a shop that would even rival your own back home.
Phoebe has not felt at this home in a while. She is completely enthralled by all of the herbs and plants and everything in the store.
Yeah.
She's gonna be looking for like a shopkeeper of some kind.
Yes. So you're looking about and you don't see anyone or anything. It's rather quiet in here, save for the slight sound of the outside street coming in. And then you hear chimes jingling, and you turn and see a doorway, the door missing, but these hanging chimes in the doorway, and a gnome woman walks through. Strangely, just as tall as you. She has a comely shape, and her eyes are kind, and she looks at you and looks up at Temin. Ah! Welcome to Twig and Sprig!
Hello.
I am Geke, Leafcutter.
I'm sorry, Geke?
Geke!
I love your name. That is beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. What is your name?
My name's Phoebe.
Phoebe? That is a beautiful name.
Why, thank you.
Feels familiar to me somehow. I guess that's the thing with beautiful names, huh?
Well, I would definitely love to pick your mind on that further, but I am just in complete awe of your shop. This is an amazing collection you have.
Yes, best in Waterdeep.
I can clearly tell that we were being pointed in a bunch of different directions. I'm surprised they didn't just all tell us that you were here.
Oh, only the real herbalists... turning into old lady voice. Only the real herbalists know where I am.
Well, I am an aspiring herbalist, so, yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, my mom taught me a little bit back in our village, and I was playing around with some fungus that we found in a dungeon.
Oh no, that's dreadful, dear.
Yeah. So I got a bad case of some syphilis and
My goodness. Foggy brain?
I did have a foggy brain, and then my friend helped me.
Waterfall nose and eyes?
Yeah, that's kind of a perfect way to describe it, yeah.
Yes, yes. I have just the thing for you. Go ahead and look around. And then she heads back through the chimes to the back.
Oh my goodness, I'm just gonna take a look around.
All right. So as you look, you see many things that you recognize, many things that you don't. And all of it excites you. There are prices labeled next to the handwritten signs with the names of everything on it. And you see, actually, first time you've ever seen this in Waterdeep, and in most towns you've ever been to, multiple languages on the signs. And a few of the signs are even missing common names.
And then this,
What is this one?
is my favorite place ever.
Oh. What are these plants, Phoebe?
Which ones?
I just point to a random plant. It's tall and it has these thorns on it that are reddish. What would you call this one?
Can I make a nature check?
Oh, I'm
of
totally
some
fucking
kind?
making this up.
Yeah, sure.
Wanna see if I know
It's
it?
tall and what?
I said it's tall and has red thorns. You can totally make this up.
Okay, all right.
So I would like to say I'm disappointed in Phoebe because her nature has a +0. But I got a 19.
Who needs a plus with rolls like that?
That's why
Oh,
you're
I thought you were
aspiring,
kidding.
my dear.
Yep. Blue flower, red thorns. God damn it. So, yes, you look at what Temin's pointing at, and actually, those aren't thorns, those are buds. Very small. You could understand his mistake. But this is actually a scarlet bramble.
Ooh.
And it is fresh. You know that they do not grow here. It is in a pot, so it is growing, possibly with magical aid from Geke. And you know of only one use of scarlet bramble, and that is a flavoring in some foods from other places in Toril.
Oh, I relay all of this to him.
Interesting. I have never seen this plant before. It is very colorful.
I don't think I've really seen this myself, but I remember this really big book that my mom would read to me, and I think this is something that I saw in there. And it was really pretty because of the contrasting colors. And it's really unique because you don't really use it for medicine, but you know, it tastes really nice, or it should taste really nice, and it can make you feel better. So,
Well, you're mostly correct. You turn and you see Geke standing there. She has a tray in her hands with a ceramic tiny little cup, like the equivalent of like a shot sized cup. And she smiles at you. Scarlet bramble, very bitter if you eat it on its own. It's good mixed into things. That is my own special plant I got from traveling far east.
my goodness.
Mhm.
Well, it's a pleasure to see it here.
Yes, it went through quite the journey with me. It's probably my favorite thing I own here. You've got quite the eye for seeing it. She looks up at Temin, nodding approvingly.
Oh, from the east, you say?
Yes.
How far east?
Oh, the other continent, just north of Barovia.
Ah, yes.
Have you
Long
had
way.
the pleasure of eating this plant?
I have had the pleasure of having cakes that had it flavored. It's
Oh.
it's hard to describe. It's unlike anything you can get out here in Faerun. It has a like a strawberry fruitness to it, yet a
Oh.
honeyed silkiness as well. Very nice.
Definitely to be eaten with sweets, not with savories.
Oh, you like honey, Phoebe.
Well, I'm not a starred chef myself, but I think you might be able to make a sauce out of it and put it on some meats. I'm sure that would
Ooh.
be pleasant.
That sounds really good, actually. I know it's your favorite thing in the store, but would you be willing to part with it?
Oh no, I'm sorry, dear. You're not the first to ask either. There was a young man in here just a few days ago. He had a stately look about him, a red bow tie. He really wanted the plant. But I told him it was not for sale. And as much as I like you, dear, it is my prized possession.
No, I completely understand that. I love plants, and if I ever came across one that I felt so closely connected with, I wouldn't want to part with it either.
I'm glad you
Um,
understand.
I appreciate you running out back and getting this for me, by the way.
Yes, yes, drink it up. All of it, last drop.
Oh, well, okay.
No, you can't smell anyways. Just don't smell it. It's dreadful.
Yeah, that shouldn't be an issue. I mean, it's rotting, but it's also stuffy, and oh boy, I haven't felt like this in a long time.
So when you drink the liquid, it hits your tongue, and it's thick. It's like straight sap thickness, and it coats your whole mouth. And as it runs down your throat, you feel it's thick, viscous. Yes.
I saw those eyes. I was like, yes.
But anyways, and you know, it soothes your throat, and you feel you can breathe a little bit more from your nose, but it doesn't make the symptoms subside immediately.
What an interesting texture.
Quite potent. It's on me for being so wonderful.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Tell you what, would you mind running me through what this is made of?
Oh yes. Give me a moment. She rushes and puts the tray and everything away and grabs a bit of parchment and a quill and writes down the recipe and hands it to you.
Thank you so much. And am I able to find some of this in your shop?
Yes, you can get all of it. If you need me, just ring the bell, okay? I'm sorting things in the back.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead. Take your time. Phoebe's gonna run around and she's just gonna be grabbing things.
All right.
Excuse me, does your plant here have a name? I just look to the, like, in fascination, just staring at the plant that she considers prized.
You know, I never thought to name it. Maybe you could think of something nice. And she walks back into the back.
Oh boy.
Then
Perhaps we should call you Planty. And I shake hands, but like reaching out and like grab one of the leaves and just shake its leaf like I'm shaking hands with it.
That's really nice of you, Temet. See? So take this as an opportunity. Sorry. Take this as an opportunity to see how you can make friends with plants. And then try to apply that when we run into people.
But not the blights, and not the big evil looking tree.
Well, is there anything in the shop that you want, Tabin? I could buy.
It is quite alright, Phoebe. I do not know of any needs or purposes I can really use the plants for.
Well, I'll tell you what, when or if we ever run into some wildflowers, I'm gonna make you a really cool crown, and you can wear that around, and you'll look super cool, and it'll be great.
But Phoebe, if anything, you are more deserving to wear the crown as a little princess.
Well, that's really nice of you to say, Tab, and thanks. I mean, of course, I would make one for myself too. I mean, come on, I can't just not make one for me too.
Then we can wear crowns together, and you can make one for Kane and Co. as well.
Can you imagine Kane wearing a flower crown?
He would look dazzling as our leader.
It would have to be red, and he would be our own Scarlet Bramble.
Scarlet Bramble.
Oh
we
my
can
God.
call him that.
Oh,
Great leader.
Put into him again though, and Co. I know
Well,
it's been a day, but I miss them.
We can always make him a flower crown when we meet them again.
I hope the opportunity comes around to where we can do that. Oh gosh.
I'm sure.
Oh gosh, my nose. Oh, this is terrible. And
Do you need another rag?
Oh no, that's okay. I got I got this. Oh, we should probably check out.
So while you're conversing and picking out ingredients, the door opens, and in walks a young human man. His hair dark, very dark, almost black in the dim lit building. It's tied back with a neat red ribbon tying it, and he has a nice long coat. It is made out of very fine material, and a red bow tie. He looks around, he regards both of you and nods, and he calls out, Geke. Wait, hold on. Geke. And then you hear a commotion in the back, and then you hear small feet, and then the chimes of the doorway. What have I told you? I'm not going to sell that bramble to you. You must understand. This is very important to me that I get this. This is going to start something very new for me, very big for me. This will take me to the next level here in Faerun. I'm sorry, dear, but if you are from where you say, then you must head back home and get some yourself. I am not selling that plant to you. I cannot go back. You do understand. I have told you this last time. You can have all of my money. All of it. Everything that I have brought with me. I just need that plant. You must understand. It is not for sale.
What seems to be the problem?
Oh no.
There is no problem, sir.
Then why do you bother our shopkeep, Geke?
I am only attempting to purchase something within this shop. It is perfectly fine. There is no issue here.
She said it was not for sale.
He looks down at Geke, who crosses her arms and looks up at him and nods her head. And he kind of looks a little defeated. You will remember that you missed out on the best. And he walks out the door.
I wonder what he was trying to do.
I am confused.
And good riddance to him. I hope I don't see him again, or I'll have the town guard in here.
You seem very persistent, but
Yes.
you
This-
held your own very well.
Oh, there's nothing I hate more than rudeness. I told him several times. I don't mean to get loud and have a start. Did you find everything that you were looking for, dear?
Oh yeah, and I assumed there was like a basket or something I could throw it all in, so I'm gonna put a
Yeah.
basket up on the counter.
Perfect. And she goes up to the counter, and she steps on what you assume is a stepladder behind it, so that she can be at above its height.
Phoebe's very familiar.
And excuse me. She starts calculating the price of everything. And then so it all comes to all the ingredients. Did you get like a lot of everything or just like a little bit?
I got enough to make at least 2 more of these things.
Okay.
And then like throw together an herbalist kit.
Okay.
If I can.
Okay, yeah. So with the herbalist kit plus all the ingredients, it comes to 6 silver.
I put down a platinum.
Oh, that is I'll make change for you.
Oh no, that's unnecessary. You gave me that, cure on the house, and you gave me a recipe, and knowledge is priceless. So thank you so much. I want you to be able to expand your store the best you can.
Oh, you are so precious. She
Well, as are you.
she takes your hand from across the counter and she holds it in both of hers. From deep within Geke Leafcutter, thank you so much, Phoebe.
Well, of course, and wherever I go, I'm hopefully gonna come back, but I will always remember you.
Her brow then furrows up. Phoebe, I know that name.
Where might you have heard my name?
Phoebe,
Mm-hmm.
do you know a honeypot?
I'm a honeypot.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Then, then you must know Ulara.
That's my mother.
And we're gonna switch to Ko.
Oh, well then.
With all the excitement going on in the twig and sprig and the almost friend zoning, who knows what the hell that was going on with Kane. Ko, you go your separate ways from Kane for today, with plans to meet back up with him at the Yawning Portal tomorrow morning for him to give you the information that you seek. But today, you are going to head out and see what you can gather yourself. Where are you heading?
My first order of business would be probably to the trade district. we came by a lot of coin, and I have this wand staff of entanglement.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna see what I can perhaps exchange for information.
Okay. No problem. So you head into the trades ward. Very easy to find it. It's about... It's approaching midday, and the noise is audible throughout the entire city at certain places with the market district on the main road of the trades ward. Specifically, what would you be looking for?
I'd like to think that, seeing as Ko has done kind of this process of adventuring, failing to like secure a proper lead, and then retiring back to Waterdeep, I think he'd have like a few common places that he would hit up. And I think the first one would probably be a shop that's on the lower end, where he knows like, okay, they go unnoticed, but they might see some shit just because of where they're stationed. But they don't really have any big like clientele or anything like that. They're really on the low end. They just might know some shit, and he could kind of buy the information for cheap.
Okay. So you make your way to the southern portion of the trades ward, closest to the south ward. Names are quite easy to remember around here. And yeah, you definitely are in a less reputable part of the city. The shops are less frequented, and there's a much greater sign of individual craftiness. More people have to wear more hats in order to get things done down in this portion of the ward. There is a shop that you are familiar with. In fact, it's where you got your loot fixed. Upon your arrival in Waterdeep, you had landed on it, broke it. These guys fixed it up. They did pretty damn good. And they're a curious bunch. They are two brothers. And, hey, they do magic with instruments.
Does the shop have a name?
Yes, it is the... Mithril Strings.
And the brothers' names?
The brothers are Bo and Joe.
Bo, Joe, and Co. Fuck it. All right, cool, perfect. That's probably how we got along.
There you go.
Yeah, so I definitely head back to the brothers, and it was the Mithril Strings.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, I'd be heading over to the Mithril Strings. They seem, aside from Kane, I probably would have been in contact with them in my earliest days in Waterdeep, and I would have definitely been coming back since they helped me out when I first arrived. So they seem rather trustworthy, at least to the extent that like they're so low on the tier where like, even though they might know shit, nobody really knows about them. So I don't really have to worry about anybody coming after them or me as a result of the information that I gained from them. I'd like to think. Yeah, so I head over to the Mithril Strings, and I walk on in.
Okay.
As usual.
Yeah. So you walk in. The shop is well lit. There are candles everywhere, a couple of lanterns. There are the usual instruments hanging from the ceiling, up on the walls, many of them covered in dust, haven't been touched in quite a while. As you're certain they don't get a lot of business down here. One of the brothers is leaning behind the counter. He's kind of picking at his nails. Hey! Hey! Joe, the third brother's back! And then you see Joe poke his head out from around the corner. The two brothers, almost identical as twins, but they are not. They have 3 years between them. Both the same patchy facial hair, half balding head, and messy clothing. Almost hard to tell them apart. Joe peeks around and sees you. Hey, Co! Hey, how you been, man?
Gentlemen. I've been... Well, the usual. I have a clue. I follow the lead. It doesn't pan out. And here I am again.
No luck with the teleporting, huh?
No. You know, this time, it was supposed to be a goddess.
Ah, goddess. They kind of nudge each other. Yeah. It's
But-
always a goddess. You know, I followed a goddess the other week, yeah. All the way up to the North Ward, and then I got arrested. Why'd you get arrested?
Oh, really?
Well, you see, they thought I was homeless. Is that your joke?
Anyways, guys, well, obviously, I'm back because I need assistance.
What do you need? We can get it for you. We can find it for you. Maybe.
Seeing as the goddess didn't pan out, I, of course, need, well, another lead. Has anything happened since my last time here?
Bo broke a guitar?
Anything in relation to my situation and...
Oh, for you?
know, Yes, exactly.
You know,
For me.
I was asking about, what is it? Who was the guy? The guy up at the tower. That wizard guy. Yeah, the wizard guy. They, he's gone. He's long gone. But, you know, he used to stay in the tower. What was it? Eagle Nose? Eagle Beak? No, it was Owl something. Owl's Eye. Owl's Eye, yeah.
A wizard in a tower named Owl's Eye.
No. The tower is Owl's Eye. You wouldn't be able to get in anyways, but, you know, it had crossed my mind.
Why won't I be able to get in? You said he's gone, right?
Well, he's gone, but other people are running it. And you gotta have membership, but you gotta know somebody. And we are neither of those.
Huh. How do I get membership?
I heard it takes a great big deal of work. Be better off
I've
just...
been doing a great deal of work that hasn't panned out, so you might as well just share.
I don't know. I've never tried. You tried? I've never tried.
Do you know somebody who has tried? You spoke as if you are familiar enough, at least.
I mean, we know of it.
Okay, boys. Enough of that. I've got a present for you.
Oh?
Yes. And I'm gonna pull out the wand of entanglement.
Okay.
And I'm gonna kind of like put it right in front of them on the counter.
And what does this do?
Well, as far as I remember, the guy who wielded it was able to ensnare some of my companions on our last quest. So, it's likely that the wand possesses such capabilities, or the guy himself could have done it, but, you know, 50-50.
I mean, We could fence it, Bo. You're right, Joe.
Now, this is yours. So long as you could help me with, well, the same thing you've been helping me with. Trying to find a way out of this godforsaken place.
Hey, we'll help you the best we can, Co.
Now,
But
I want both of you.
we ain't wizards ourselves.
I understand that. Of course, if you were wizards, we probably would have been done with my needs by now. But you two are very trustworthy and resourceful. So, what I'm going to do is I give this to you in exchange for your help. Yes. I need you to do what you guys do. Because we're going to kind of look around the shop a little bit. Not best, but what you seem to be decent at. And, you know, talk to people and figure out, hey, what might be required of somebody who wants to get into that tower.
I'm the better talker.
Sure you are, Joe.
No, I'm Bo.
Ko's eyes are gonna glow. He's gonna kind of lean in. Joe, how many times have you tried this?
Every time.
And when has it ever worked?
0 times.
Thank you.
I'll get you one of these days. It's because Bo's fatter, isn't it? Bo kind of looks at him.
Ko's gonna kind of lean back and look. Nah, I think you've actually seemed to be the one who's been putting on a little bit of weight.
You think so? Getting
Yes.
ready for my 3rd wife.
And how are the other two?
Well, they took everything else I had. Almost took Bo. I'd be good without him.
Well, maybe he'd be better off without you.
Bo slaps him upside the head. Don't
All
worry,
right,
Kel.
John.
We'll get some information for you.
Yes, and you know what? For the hell of it, you guys can have it now. I trust you. I will be back in... Shit. When did King say to meet him? I'll be back by the end of the day.
Okay.
Try to have something for me.
Yeah, we'll get right on it.
Thank you, guys. And Ko's gonna kind of just like walk away.
They both at the same time. See ya, Ko.
Goodbye, boys.
And then as you exit the building, you hear the familiar sound of the staff going off. And then you hear from inside, "What the fuck, Bo?"
Oh, man. Gotta kind of like smirk, kind of assuming what happened, and gotta keep on my way to my next like potential. And this time it's not anybody that I know in particular, more so just heading towards places that I've done performances in, where I've kind of had a little bit of luck listening in on conversations. So a tavern or something.
Yeah. So there is an inn in the Trades Ward. It's probably the most well-known. It is the Bleeding Dagger. You've played there a few times. And, I mean, the going rate is a gold a day, plus whatever tips you make, which, as you've seen in Waterdeep, is pretty good.
Very nice. Yeah, I'd definitely be heading there, seeking out whoever the patron or whoever is in charge, seeking them out to see if they have an opening for the day or evening time.
Okay. Yeah, you make your way there, and a familiar man of a name that I will come up with by the time you get back to your scene says, yeah, we don't have anybody playing this evening. In fact, someone had just called out. What a coincidence. You can fill his spot.
Perfect. I really needed this. It's been quite some time since I've just relaxed.
All right. So, we're going to switch back to Kane. How are you passing your day, Kane?
Well, like you said, he's just waiting to be, available and summoned by his mistress. So he figures he'd probably help out with like the bodyguards and stuff while he waits around until later. So, just making his muscles available and not getting arrested.
We'll see about that.
Oh God.
So
she doesn't have city guard stand guard for her. She has her own private guards, right?
Yes. They are essentially mercenaries, but they're more cleaned up and they have some loyalty to the Gilded Nymph. You know them all, of course. Yeah. They all know you. But did you say that you were gonna head somewhere, or you were gonna just muscle around here?
I was just gonna muscle around here.
Okay. Let's switch. All right. On this day, in the month of, what did I say? Kythorn. Currently on staff is Quinn and Eric.
Okay.
Just making notes for myself.
Same.
The ladies are doing their thing. Quinn guards the inside of the front door, and Eric guards the back door. They are both wearing their purple coat of arms, as it were. It's the symbol of the Gilded Nymph, essentially a badge of their position as the protectors of the building. Eric sees you coming out of Galandra's office, and he regards you with a nod.
I'll approach Quinn.
Eric.
Eric.
I know. I swapped it on you.
It was right there.
You're in the back. You're in the back. You're in the back.
All right.
So you approach Eric. Been a hot while since we've seen you, Kane.
Well, as long as I don't turn up dead anywhere, I'm always going to turn up here.
Oh, we would hate to see that happen to you.
Sometimes I feel like that's what some of these people around the city want.
Nah. Don't let them get to you, Kane. They're all assholes.
You're telling me. You're lucky enough that you just get to hang out in these four walls or go home to your family.
Job's real easy. No idiot comes knuckling around here.
Oh, that's for sure.
And the sights are quite the wonder to behold.
I'm just happy that there's happiness here. All the girls are happy and the mistress is happy, and that's what this place is, a sanctuary.
That woman has done more for these ladies than any man I've ever seen my entire life.
And I'm so glad that any man that tries to take that away from them will get their neck broken.
Probably by Galandra herself.
Big toothy grin crosses over Kane's face.
It's one tough bitch. But we love her.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just gonna kind of like shake off past memories of her.
Say, Kane. Where were you?
Yeah, doing the nonsense stuff. Always got to listen to the crazies. You guys get to hang around in here and the nice cool air and the beautiful view while I have to go to the taverns and follow up dead ends all the time. Just another one of those.
You know, I miss my adventuring days. That arrow to the knee really ended all that for me.
Might have been a blessing in disguise. You wouldn't have settled down if you didn't.
That is true.
So, did you hear the well got closed down?
The Yawning Portal, right?
Yes.
I don't know what's going on with that. Lord's Alliance showed up here about 3 days ago. Been shaking things up. Galandra's been locked in her office ever since.
Makes you wonder.
Well, they posted missives on more places than just the Yawning Portal.
Do you know any of the other locations?
He gives you essentially a rundown of a few spots that he knows of. Some of them are quite reputable businesses. I mean, for somebody who knows the inner dealings, not as reputable, but from the outside, they are quite frequented. From your knowledge of the Lord's Alliance, you know, a faction, as it were, and an agreement bonded by opinion and wealth of merchants and guilds and lords alike.
I'm gonna lean into Eric. Okay, Eric, between you and me, why do you think they came knocking down around here?
It's the City of Splendors, is it not? Everyone wants a cut of the pie.
Well, if we know the mistress, she'll do everything in her power to defend it. She's got teeth and she'll bite.
Any idiot from around here wouldn't poke their nose in this business. It would only take a jackass from the outside to get involved. And I hope all the gods are on their side.
Remember, we don't know the lords personally. They could be full of idiots.
Anyone who chooses to rule over a mass group of people is an idiot. Me, I'm happy with my job here.
I would put my hand on his shoulder and just tell him, wish the family well.
I will. He looks up at one of the... there's a clock next to the back door. Mostly for his station to keep track of time. Not really for the patrons to see how long they've been in here. He takes a glance at it and looks back at you. How about a drink before you go, Kane? I'm off in a few.
Actually, I might have plans tonight, so I'm going to just do a few rounds and then head to my chambers.
Oh? Well, don't let me hold you up. Good catching up with you, Kane.
I'm gonna wave Eric goodbye.
All right. So you pass through the rest of the day, and it comes to evening, and you're in your chambers of the Gilded Nymph. Kane, your room is not spacious. In fact, some of the entertaining rooms are much more spacious than this one. Strange, because most of that space doesn't get used, but you understand the formality of it. as you pass the time doing whatever it is you wish to do to pass the time, there comes a rap at your door.
So Kane probably would have changed into less scary and prickly clothes. So he's probably just in chill clothes now. And he's gonna go happily answer his door.
Okay. You open the door, and standing there is Sarah. She is wearing a nice dress, and her hair is put up, and she looks up at you. Oh, I'm glad you're here, Kane. Galandra sent me, told me I was to escort you to dinner tonight.
As he's like kind of hanging in the doorway, looking around for Galandra, he's like, Sarah, yeah, that is perfectly fine. Would you just like to have dinner in here?
If that is what you'd like, yes.
I would kind of turn to the small room and be like, well, that was the plan, I guess. Unless you have something else in mind. I don't mean to be rude. I would love to go out to dinner with you, Sarah.
Well, I'm just here to keep you company, Kane. You know how the mistress is. Sometimes she gets very busy. But she loves you very much. She puts a hand on your large shoulder. But if you'd rather eat in tonight, that's fine. I'll be here with you. If there's, maybe a nicer place around the North End. I mean, I do know that you did just go on a brave adventure. Perhaps you have some money to spend?
Not much, actually. If you don't mind, we could probably just stay here.
Okay, that is fine. So she gets some food from the kitchen of the Gilded Nymph and joins you in your room. To look in from the outside would be a bit comical to see a dragonborn of your size in this dinky room. And even more comical still to see you hunched over and this elegantly dressed, beautiful young woman sitting there with you. You both share a meal on a side table, for it's one of the few uncluttered surfaces that you have.
So, Sarah, I know the mistress is busy. She's always busy, but she just seems a little busier than normal. Is there something going on around here?
Oh, I know that a group of men came in. They were with some group of lords, not the ones of Waterdeep. When they came in, they had demanded to see the owner and wanted to know where he was. Clearly, they know nothing of this place. And so Galandra came out to meet them, and, well, they were very rude and demanded to know all sorts of things about Galandra's workings and finances and who she knew in power and this, that, and every other which way. And, well, it was right in the parlor. So she had, with a quiet fury that I'm sure not even they had detected, invited them into her office. And then they left in a huff.
Eric told me the lords came, but I thought it was the Lords of Alliance. And he was right. They were outsiders. They were idiots. Sarah, did she tell you anything about them? Did she confide in anything where they would be, where they were going, what they wanted?
Well, I do know after they had visited, the budget got a little tight. We weren't able to get a new bottle of one of our better spirits after we had run out, which isn't really usual considering the clientele that we have. But from what I've heard around town and from some of the other girls and the patrons that we've had, the Lord's Alliance had been in many places around Waterdeep. It's like they're looking for something. Or they believe they've been cut out of some deal. I'm not entirely sure. Fortunately, it's not my business to know.
No, it's not. But I'm in the business of finding people who don't want to be found. So if you have any information that would help me find these people.
Well, give me a couple of days. I'll talk with some of my clients, and I'm certain we can maybe nail down where one of them are.
You know, Sarah, that would be perfect. And I think what would be even better is if we kept this between us.
Oh.
You know, sometimes the mistress's problems disappear, and she doesn't need to always know where they went.
Okay. And she pokes you on the nose. It can be our little secret.
I will do anything to keep this place safe.
You do so well at that. You've helped so many of us here. And she puts a hand on your chest.
I'm gonna meet her hand. Well, I'm sure you will have a busy night ahead of you. Thank you for the company for dinner.
Yes, thank you, Kane. I appreciate it, and I will get back to you in a few days with whatever information I find. And she cleans up and picks up the tray and leaves your room.
What's in this room?
It's your room, you tell me.
Bed, small chair, table,
Yeah.
desks.
I'd say the entire width of it is 5 feet, and the length is probably 10. So you have your bed, which you barely fit in.
Yeah.
A side table next to it, a desk with a chair that you can't even sit in because you can't pull it out,
Yeah.
and a small chest that you have some of your items in.
Kane's probably gonna whip his chair across the room. That useless little chair.
So it is kind of a deaky chair. Even if you could pull it out, it wouldn't be something that Kane would trust to sit in anyways. The legs pop right off the son of a bitch when it hits the wall.
He's gonna go to bed stewing.
Okay. All right. As we end the day for Kane, we will rewind a little bit back to Phoebe and Temin within the Twig and Sprig, speaking to Geke,
I love her.
who has just remembered where she knew the name Phoebe from. And after asking her if she knew about the honeypots, or the name honeypot, Phoebe responded that she did, in fact, know because she was one. And that Ulara was her mother. You see Geke's eyes light up at your response. Oh, Ulara was such a wonderful woman.
Wait, she was here.
Oh no, I haven't seen her in years.
Oh, years.
You were a wee babe, much smaller than you are now.
Oh, wow. So, if I was that little, this had to have been years ago. What was she? Are you guys friends? What was she doing here?
Well, when I was traveling across Toril, I had come across your small town. I can't recall its name, but I do remember Ulhara. I was a young herbalist in those days, had just begun my travels, and she was most insightful and helpful, keeping me from eating the wrong mushrooms that grew just outside of the town.
Yeah, that sounds like something my mom would do. She did that to me a lot too.
You seem
So
to
did
have
she-
a lot of trouble with mushrooms.
Yes, yeah. That's actually a really good point. I really need to make note of that. Tevin, please remind me that that rule applies to mushrooms too.
Understood. No more mushrooms.
Just with no, I'm okay. I gotta focus. Okay. Did she only stop by here one time? Did she stop by here a couple times?
Oh, I don't know if she's ever been in Waterdeep. I haven't seen her here.
Oh, right, because you went to the villa. Oh my goodness. Okay.
But I think I have something as a memory from that time. And she gets off of her stepladder and walks into the back, and she comes back up a moment later with a old bound journal, and she opens it up to some of the front pages, and you can see there's some writing and some illustrations in there. Seems to be a young herbalist's travel log, including observational journal. And as she flips through, the handwriting changes, as well as the depictions of plants becomes much more accurate and has a familiar approach to their interpretations. And you recognize the handwriting and illustrations by your mother.
Would I be able to take a look at that?
Yes, I grabbed it for you to look at.
No, I wasn't sure if I could put my hands on because I'm a little.
I mean,
and-
it's aged, but it's your mother. Here.
Oh, thank you so much. And I'm just gonna start flipping through the pages and just reading her notes, and I just get so warm inside and I smile because I haven't seen her handwriting in a while.
Mm-hmm. It really is a wonderful feeling, and you get this flood of memories that you had forgotten. And as you read through the passages and look at the images, you definitely recall the conversations that you've had with her, the light scoldings for some mistakes that you had made. This appears to be quite the thorough record of all of the flora around your small town that you had grown up in, and most of these items are sold in your old shop.
Oh goodness, well this was definitely, it's only been a couple months since I've started traveling, but this was definitely a nice little piece of home that you just gave me. Thank you so much. I don't know if you know, but I actually left my town and our store because my mother disappeared, and I don't know if it was because she meant to or if something happened to her, but I'm looking for her, which is why I disregarded all of your points about you going to the village and her not coming here. I was really hoping that she might have passed through here.
I understand now. I'm so terribly sorry, Phoebe. She's such a wonderful woman. I couldn't imagine anyone doing anything to her.
No, me neither. If everything she did had a reason behind it, so I have to imagine that she's out there doing something with an intent.
She must be helping someone.
Just as I am.
I will I'll see if I can gather some information for you. I have a few connections with other herbalists.
Well, that would just be amazing, Gekka. Thank you so much. I don't know what that information's worth.
Oh, anything for Olhara's daughter.
Ugh.
And one as pleasant as you, Phoebe. Anything.
Well, I mean, meeting my mother, you know, she raised me to be this way, so...
And she
It's
did a
not
wonderful job.
Well,
I
thank
agree.
you.
Hmm.
Thanks, Temin. Oh, wow. How soon do you think you'd have that information, or is there any way you would be able to get that to me through mail or magic means, or...
How about you come back here in a couple days, and I'll tell you everything I found out.
That's perfect. No, I'll definitely be here.
Perfect. She
Well,
takes the journal back from you.
Phoebe's like, oh, I wish I could have that journal, but I'm not gonna ask for it. All right, well, I'm probably gonna go make a couple more of those remedies that you made me, because I'm feeling a little bit better, but I definitely don't want to jinx it.
Oh, no worries. You go
been
get better.
Yeah, no.
I'm not
it's-
going anywhere.
Well, good. And if that man with the bow tie comes back, you be sure to let Temin know.
Ooh, I'll give him a piece of my mind.
I was gonna say now that you need him.
And I'll give him a piece of my sword.
No, you won't, Temin.
Well, no need for violence.
Thank you.
I don't need the watch in here.
No, you definitely don't.
I have some spices I shouldn't have. She winks at you.
I'm
don't
just gonna
understand what that
say.
means.
Speaking of the watch, Temin, don't you have some unfinished business with the watch that you need to, you know, tie up some loose ends on?
I do not think that will be necessary.
Oh. Well, okay. Well, I think we're gonna be going now. Thank you so much.
Of course. You're always welcome at the Twig and Sprig, dear.
I'm just gonna wave and I'm gonna
Thank
take
you.
my stuff and walk out the door.
All right. Perfect.
Goodbye, Geke. Goodbye, Planty.
Goodbye.
Jesus Christ.
She, yeah, she waves goodbye to you.
Super.
All right. Anything else you would like to attend to before the end of this day?
Temin, is there anything that you want to do while we're out in the city?
Not that I can think of. But something did come to mind while you were in the shop.
What's that?
When you saw that journal,
Mm-hmm.
you were filled with an emotion of joy.
Oh my goodness, the warmest of emotions. It's just wonderful.
I do not quite understand why you were filled with joy. Is it magical? The book?
I'm sorry, is it what?
Is the book magical?
Oh, not literally, not in a literal sense, but in a personal sense. Yeah, I guess you could say it is. It means a lot to me, and it makes me feel all kinds of good things when I read it and go through it. So yeah, it's magical in a sense.
Is it to do with your mother?
It has everything to do with my mother. She's the most, well, no discredit to you, Temin. You're great. But I just think she's the most wonderful person on the planet. She always goes out of her way to help everyone, and she's not afraid to give it to people who are rude, like Gekka did back there with the man in the bow tie. And she's indescribably beautiful, and oh, I'm just so lucky that I get to carry on her name.
She sounds like a wonderful person.
I hope
would
you
like
get
to
to
meet
meet
her
her.
one day.
Jinx! I think she'd really like you, Temin, and I think she'd really appreciate how you've been looking after me.
I think you've also been looking after me.
Well, I'd like to hope so. I mean, when you get hurt, I have to be there to heal you. It's my job.
No, I mean, in a different sense.
Oh. Would you care to elaborate?
I thought I was destined to become strong because that was my job. But seeing you has helped me change my perspective on things.
Hmm.
With the kobolds and the goblins, I see that there is more to life than just fighting in wars.
Yeah, I mean, well, I have no idea what shoes you've been wearing and where you've walked, so I can't really say much. But perspective can give a person a lot of things. So always keep an open mind. And I'm glad that I've given you the opportunity to do that.
Indeed. Thank you.
Yeah.
As my commander would point out before, when things would get hard, he would always yell at us to war harder, crush the enemy.
Oh my goodness. He sounds like a very violent man.
But then he would also make a lot of fart jokes, which I did not understand.
Well, he definitely sounds like a character. And I can definitely see how you have some of his influence, but in all the good ways.
Oh, I thank you. He would be most honored. I think you have also inherited your mother's great qualities.
Oh, well, I definitely hope so. That's all I strive to be and strive to do. And speaking of striving, I am just realizing that my stomach is making noises that are striving to end those noises with food. I'm hungry.
Then let us go get some food.
Okay.
We go to find food.
Perfect. So you head out from the shop and you make your way through the trades ward, the merchants alley proper, and I don't think either of you have been to a proper market. There is a lot of hustle and bustle going on here, even past noon. Lots of people hollering and haggling, the sound of animals, many being sold and traded, a few of them beasts of burden carrying carts or waiting to carry carts. There is a smell in the air. Sometimes it is a metallic smell as you pass by maybe armor or tools, and then other times it's an animal smell, and then occasionally there's a sweet or a savory or a smoky smell as you pass by some street food vendors with all forms and manners of food, some of which you've never seen before. It is a circus for the senses. Everything is happening all at once, and your stomach is definitely feeling it.
I'm gonna be looking for like some sort of stall that is selling some dope pastries.
Okay. You find a bakery, and the sign above it says Trop's Bakery. Yeah. And inside, there's a pane of glass on the outside with through it you can see many baked treats, lots of which pies, donuts, muffins, cookies. This is quite the bakery. You head in, and there is a pleasant, sweet scent in the air and an aroma of delicious carbs. And behind the counter is a long bearded dwarf with a tall red cap. And
I did not picture a dwarf running this place.
he regards you. Ah, welcome.
Hi. Sorry,
Greetings.
I'm completely taken aback by your store. It smells amazing.
Oh, that's just the smell of the ovens.
Well, so I'm looking for something in particular, if you have it. So this is Booker, and he's my longtime friend.
All
and
right.
and on occasions, I like to have a bear claw when he does a good job.
A bear claw.
Mhm.
Yes,
Do stuffed animals eat bear
No,
claws?
it's not an actual bear claw. It's well, maybe you can explain it. And I'm sorry, what's your name?
I'm Trop.
Like
This
the
is my
store's name?
this is my bakery.
Oh my, it's an honor.
You're a fine bakery, sir.
Thank you. And he explains what a bear claw is, a delicious pastry with nuts on it. I believe. Hold on. Is it nuts, or am I thinking of something else? A type of Danish, which means nothing in this world.
It does now.
I do believe they have like shaved almonds on some of them.
Yeah.
Like icing.
And it gets its name from the cut of the pastry that splays out like a claw. It has a glazing on top. He grabs you one.
Temin, do you want anything? I know you don't eat, but
I am capable of eating, although I do not need to for sustenance. I have always grown curious about trying.
well then
meat
you're
pies.
definitely gonna have this. I'll have 2 of those if you don't mind.
Of course.
And 4 meat pies, if you would.
Oh goodness.
For
Aye.
Kane and Co. as well.
He packages it all up. Anything else for you?
Do you want anything? No, I think we're okay.
All right. That'll bring you to silver.
I will
Changed
pay
accents
next time.
there.
Oh, okay, Temin, thank you.
I'll just put down 2 gold on the table.
I think you've mixed up your currency, friend.
I have not. It is for you. And I look at Phoebe and I wink. Because you run a fine establishment.
Thank you for your generosity. And he cashes the coin.
And we leave.
All right.
Yeah, so when we get out of the store, like I immediately like unwrap a bear claw and I just try to smell it and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm so glad that potion worked. A little bit. I feel at least have my scent back, so maybe I can taste it a little bit. I'm gonna
Do you
take a
need the
big old
rag?
bite. What's that?
Do you need the rag?
Did I eat the rag? No.
No, do you need the rag? To blow your nose, so
Oh.
you perhaps can smell.
No, it's pretty clear right now. It's better than it was this morning, that's for sure. Gekka definitely helped.
All right.
Want to eat this with me?
It's alright, you can eat your bear claw.
All right, so I'm gonna eat this, and I'm gonna break off a piece, and I'm gonna let Booker hold it. I'm gonna hold it for a little bit while I eat it.
All right. So as the sun begins to set, do you return to the dripping dagger?
Perhaps we should explore the town a little bit more.
Yeah,
At least to take in the sights.
I definitely don't see the harm in that.
Okay.
As long as you're not tired.
Oh no, I'm okay.
Perhaps we'll run into Co and Kane.
That would definitely be great. I mean, what would the odds be?
So, with the sun setting on the horizon, Waterdeep is still lit up with the torches and lanterns on the streets and the lights illuminating from the windows of buildings around you. It is a splendid city. However, after some more time passes, the shops begin to close up, and the City Watch begins to usher people, to disperse from the market square. While you were wandering about, there was no run-in with Ko or Kane, unfortunately. But you did get a little bit of a lay of the land in the middle of the trades ward. So if there is any shop you would like to recall or anything like that, when you are in this area, you will know your way about.
Yeah.
And as the sun finishes setting on the horizon, Phoebe, with your ill state, you do feel yourself becoming drowsy at that point.
Well, as much fun as this was, I think we should start getting back.
Indeed. Let us head back.
All right. At the Dripping Dagger, we have Ko, who is playing some music and entertaining the guests there. It is not that one. Yeah, that one. It gets busier as the evening goes on, and now that the sun is set, there's a quite large group in here. While you're playing, did you say that there was like eavesdropping or information gathering you wanted to do?
Oh yes, especially in between songs and any sort of like breaks where I might have just had some free time to like walk around a little bit.
Yeah.
That would definitely been like hitting up the bar, kind of just sitting at the counter, listening in on small talk.
Okay.
Important talk.
Small talk, big talk, any talk.
All the talk.
So while you're sitting at the bar, enjoying a free drink, you get one free drink as well for playing here. You overhear someone talking about the library in the castle ward. Such being the Owl's Eye. I believe it's in the castle's ward. Hold on. I did not specify, but now it exists there. Hearing the name of it reminds you of your conversation with Bo and Joe, the Tweedledee and Tweedledum, as it were. And you listen in a little harder to the conversation. I should not have looked at the Discord. You motherfuckers. All right.
I shouldn't have looked at the Discord.
There's there's a behind the scenes there's a behind the scenes chat for the group.
Dude, it is wild right now.
Please excuse this momentary interruption as we take a
We need
moment
a
to get
timeout.
ourselves straight for our next part of the RP.
Wait,
I'm gonna have to look at that later.
I was
I'm gonna have to look at that later.
shit. I'm too gay for that shit.
It was so straight you got confused.
Straight. Oh, my stomach hurts so bad. I'm so sorry.
Oh my god.
No.
Oh my god. Yes, this is the type of live gold that you don't get on YouTube. Right now, we'll just be filled with a technical difficulties thing that pops up. Christ, what the fuck was I even saying?
You were talking about Eagle's
Owl's
Eye.
Eye.
Owl's Eye. There you go. I wrote Eagle. Owls.
You gotta listen in better, Co.
Oh my god.
He's animal dyslexic.
I'm not from here, okay?
Animal
It's
dislike.
something. Some bird's eye.
Some
castle
bird's
or
eye.
tower.
Stupid fucking tower. So you listen in, and you hear them mentioning someone is bringing a new book to the tower. Which is interesting to them because, you know, you never really hear about books going in or out of the library, as it were. But they aren't talking about it in a manner that they're happy there's a growth of knowledge. It sounds like they're trying to make a heist on this book. Because if it's going into the Owl's Eye Tower, it's worth something.
If I look in the direction of the guys who were talking about this, kind of like, what do they look like? What do these guys look like?
So you look over at them, and one man has a mohawk. The rest of his head is shaved. He's got a gash on the side of his head, a scar. And he's wearing studded leather armor. You can see daggers and swords on him. His hood is hanging off the back of his armor, one that would otherwise obfuscate his appearance. And the other guy is... So he's the one that's explaining everything, and the other guy's listening in. He's a larger fellow, long, oily, greasy hair. He wears leather padded armor himself and carries similar weaponry.
I'm gonna listen in a little further to see if, you know, there's any more details.
Give me a perception check to listen in further.
Shall. Oh, I love my dice. Give me a good roll. Digital roll? What is this number? Is that fucking 2? Oh, I got a 9. I should never use digital dice.
Never use digital dice.
I was too lazy to get my other ones, and I paid the price. So I got a 9.
You hear not much more as the band begins to start playing up, and they are waiting for you to go join them again.
All right, I will make note of Mohawk Man with a gash on the side of his head.
All right.
And I will get back to my job.
Okay. So you get back to playing your music. Phoebe and Temin, you enter into the Dripping Dagger, seeking respite from your adventurous day, filled with lots of information and lots of sights and delicious bear claws.
Yeah, so I'm just... Yeah, there we go. I'm just smacking on a bear claw when we walk through the door, and... I heard that right. Ko is in the same building we are walking into.
And there, playing with other musicians, you see Ko strumming away on his lute.
Cool. And I'm just gonna, like, scan the room. I'm gonna see Ko, and I'm gonna be like... Damon! Kevin, do you see? Do you see?
Oh, I see. I'm gonna immediately point out to Ko and shout out super loud to everybody. Ko, your playing is amazing. It is much better than that horrible flute that you had.
Oh.
I'd like to imagine that Ko, this is probably the most peaceful you've seen him. And even though like Temin is shouting directly at him, he's still just like focused doing his thing.
He's like, this bitch, this bitch, this bitch.
A couple,
Please, I don't know him. I don't know him.
a couple patrons turn to regard you like, what in the world? And then taking in all of you, they're just, you know.
If you didn't do it, I was gonna do it.
Oh, I was just merely stating a fact, Phoebe.
No, I agree with you. It was a very valid fact. Do you wanna go watch him?
Oh yes, please. I did not know he played the lute so well.
I didn't
Aside-
either.
From that time with Cain
the
falling in
flute.
the pit.
Yeah. I was just like, oh, well, I knew he played music, but you know, maybe it was more of like an interpretive thing. But no, he's really good.
What is interpretive music?
How do I put this? You do it even though you don't do it well. I think.
Wasn't that what Meepo did?
Yes.
Oh, I understand now.
Phoebe's not very good with words. She's trying to put it together. All right, and then we're just gonna walk up to the very front, like if it's not taken, and we're just gonna like sit, stand, whatever, and we're just gonna watch him.
Oh,
Just
as
vibing.
we're doing this, I'm gonna like, Phoebe, may I see the bag of pastries?
Of course you can. I'm just gonna reach in her bag and just gonna hand it to him.
I'm gonna take out one of the meat pies and walk up like right to the stage and look at Ko, and hold out the meat pie.
Oh
I brought you some meat pies, Ko. I figured you'd be hungry.
Oh god. Phoebe's like panicking.
Oh,
Ko, or not Ko, Temin, maybe we should wait till after he's done playing, because other people are watching him play too, so he can't stop to eat right now.
Ko, give me a performance check to see if you stay focused.
I got a 12.
Okay. You almost lose focus, but you manage to reel it back in as you notice two strums are slower than the rest, and you catch back up.
Question: am I lead or am I just playing with
You're
others?
lead.
I'm lead. Okay, then I would I would definitely like fumble, but like try to use that fumble to signal that like we're about to end like the next phase. Because clearly Phoebe and Temin have something to give me.
All right. So you finish up the set and close out. It is pretty late at this point, as you would expect it to be in a tavern/inn, as most of the patrons have left or went to their lodgings upstairs, and the band closes up for the night.
I kind of like say goodbye to everybody. Kind of like apologize for the brief and sudden finishing of our set.
You collect your portion of the tips, which comes out to 8 silver pieces, and you get your singular gold from the barkeep.
Nice. I'm getting rich, y'all. After I finish up, I am going to turn, but not walk towards Temin and Phoebe. Just kind of turn and look at them with my loot like strapped across my back and like my arms folded. So we meet again.
Hi, Ko.
Friend. Ko.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
We brought you some food. We figured you'd be hungry.
And you be very wise. He kind of like just break his kind of upkept nature real quick, kind of cast a smile at them, and he'll walk over. This is very kind of you both. You know, I really, really, really am getting used to the idea of not relying on Kane to be around as my friend or only friend. You know, he's useful.
Oh, I was gonna say, Kane's a really nice guy. I don't know why you wouldn't want to be his friend.
Nice is one word to use. Anyways, yeah, he's a friend. He's a friend, and I welcome you two as friends as well. Would you like anything to drink?
If they have some milk, I will definitely take some milk because I ate a couple of bear claws on the way in.
I do not know what that means, but I think they do have milk.
As long as there are no... And I pull out like a small note. No fungus or mushrooms inside said milk. Phoebe should be okay. And
I don't think there's any guarantee on either of those, considering where we're at. But you could try to ask them to make sure they, hold off on all of those other things, especially the fungi. That seems very dangerous.
So you get your drink, your milk, and you eat your meat pies. And as you prepare to part ways and go to slumber for the next day, is there any other conversation you'd like to have? Maybe one's about your tomorrow plans or anything like that?
Is everybody else cleared out of the
For the most
tavern?
part.
Okay.
In fact, let me...
Specifically the two dudes that we're talking about, this plane that was in this bird tower of sorts.
Yes, they did leave.
Okay.
Bird tower.
When the noise started to die down, actually, is when they left.
Okay, gotcha. Which makes sense considering what they were talking about. I'm gonna actually, since that is on my mind, I'm gonna kind of bring in Temin and Phoebe. I'm gonna ask them, say, what do the two of you know about Owl's Eye Tower?
What do I know about Owl's Eye Tower?
You know nothing.
Nothing.
We know
Would you like
nothing.
to try out for the band?
I could be your lead vocalist.
Now
Ko.
that's interpretive music.
Yeah.
It seems to be a recurring thing today.
Why are you looking for something in it? Are you looking for it? Are you looking?
Well, that's to be determined. I guess it kind of depends on what the boys have in store. Actually,
Who are the boys?
don't worry about that. It would only confuse you. I actually need to head there right now to check on things. But hopefully they succeeded in what I needed them to do. If not, then, well, I guess I'll try again another day. Kane said he had some news for me too, but he's being Kane about it, and he's holding off until tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like something Kane would do.
Oh, where is Kane?
Well, that's a very good question. He does have some parts that he likes to frequent, but he also disappears from time to time to do his own thing. I don't really keep too many tabs on him. He helps me when he can, or when he wants to. And yeah, sometimes it's better when he's away because I get more things done and I get in less trouble. So I'm counting on both of you to come with me and not get me in trouble or slow me down.
I mean, I'm pretty fast.
We will try.
That's the right idea. And, yeah, Ko's gonna like exit and start leading the way back to Bo and Joe.
Okay. So as you exit the dripping dagger, you note the clock on the wall, the grandfather clock, and you note the time. They're probably closed up at this time.
Okay, as we make it to the end, it was like, oh shit. Never mind, guys. We're going to meet Bo and Joe tomorrow. I don't think they'll be in right now. I played a little too long tonight.
I was gonna say, they must be open 24 hours if we were gonna go see them right now.
You know, it'd be very interesting to see what either of them would look like after 24 hours, but I'm pretty sure Bo would kill Joe by then.
Oh, well then maybe they shouldn't be out for 24 hours.
Precisely. So we're gonna let them rest.
Speaking of rest, we're actually staying here. If you wanna crash or...
I usually don't mix business with pleasure, but fuck it. Why not? Sleeping is a pleasure.
Sleeping is also very important, King.
All right. So you all take your rest in the dripping dagger. All of you save for Kane, who is in his small room in the Gilded Nymph, looking up at the ceiling. Is there anything else for you before you are lulled to sleep?
Not unless I get a name. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. Well, with all that hilarity and soulfulness, heartwarmingness, that'll bring us to the end of this episode of Fancie's Fables. Oh yeah. This is a great episode. This is awesome.
Oh my god.
It was so fun!
I love my guys, Mo and Joe.
I can't believe
Bo and Joe. There you go.
you did Phoebe so dirty. Oh yeah, I know your mom. She was here a couple years ago. Or wait, I saw her a couple years ago.
A lot of years ago.
I'm like, no. No.
My
Oh
homie,
yeah.
dog.
Oh yeah. Lots of good character information. Lots of silly NPCs. I had only written one of those NPCs. I want y'all to know.
Bo and Joe, we know. Yeah.
Yeah, I love them.
Oh my god.
Joe.
But yes, a very entertaining night. Very, very fun. Thank you everyone in chat. Chat was popping tonight. You guys are fucking hilarious. I love you all. Thank you for those hosts. Thank you so much for those resubs. Started the night with Dagon and ended it with a gift sub to Reyna from Dagon. So thank you guys for supporting the channel. If you would like to support the channel financially, you can hit up the Patreon link down below. There is a Fancie's Fables tier. That money goes directly into getting content on D&D Beyond, paying for Zoom meetings, keeping Syrinscape up, all those things. Everything that can go into making this production is as good as it can be. You can help us out there. If you are on YouTube, a like, a subscribe, which is free on that platform I hear, and a comment really, really, really goes a long way and shows that people are enjoying the content there and would like to, see it succeed. So it can get pushed out to more people and we can increase our outreach for this wonderful, wonderful group of role players. Do you guys have any announcements?
I stream.
These wonderful individuals do stream, some more than others. 80Frame99 is an amazing artist. Go catch her on Twitch under that username. You can also find her YouTube as well under the Eldritch Kingdom. A bunch of wonderful time lapses and hilarious gameplays. Then we also have Art Is My Voice, who is an amazing Twitch streamer himself, an amazing artist. You can find him here on Twitch under that handle, as well as on Instagram. And we have Kelp, who does some Smite and Final Fantasy here and there. Anything else? No? Okay. And Bulletproof Turtle Man, the insane salty art grandpa himself, who has an amazing Instagram under the same name. And maybe, if you're lucky, once every 2 years he'll be on Twitch. And you can catch that stream.
I will not deny the salt.
But we love him so much. Always questioning why we're not arting more.
Why are you not arting? Art harder.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
But yes, thank you all. You're amazing. I cannot wait to see you next week to see how this all comes together for everything the party has has learned this episode.
Let's go, Team Trainwreck. I mean,
Team Trainwreck!
You guys all have a
I'm
wonderful
the
night.
conductor
Oh my god.
of the poop train.
Oh
Take care.
my god. Have a good night.
All right, good night, guys.
Bye.